Yo, what up guys, Sammy Lee here from the Soul Brothers, and a huge shoe has just been unveiled today, and it's called the Nike Adapt Basketball, or they're just calling it BB. And of course this is a continuation of their line from I guess the Hyper Adapt, which was just kind of like a runner slash casual shoe, which was also 720 or 740 bucks. I don't quite remember what the price was, but it was pretty ridiculous. But this shoe that is designed specifically for basketball is supposed to be 350 bucks, which is a lot better of a price comparing it to 720 bucks or whatever, but still really expensive. The new technology that the Adapt Basketball is using is called Fit Adapt, which we'll get into, but let's just go over I guess just the tech specs and what this shoe is using. So starting off with the traction just looks to be a translucent outsole, nothing special, but the pattern is just circles, multi-directional, but just circles. I don't know, man. Nike and Jordan, they've been loving circles. PG3, the Jordan Why Not 0.2, you know, lots of circles. Not mad at it. It's a multi-directional pattern. I'm just worried about the rubber compound. Hopefully it's a good rubber compound, but hopefully there are solid rubber options that we can choose from in the future when they do release new colorways. But yeah, the outsole looks pretty good, and really nothing else to speak on there. Moving on to the cushion looks pretty nice. It is a Cushlon midsole, so if you guys like Cushlon, and a lot of people like Cushlon, it is what they use in the Kyrie 4. Cushlon is super dope. It's very soft, very good impact protection. The only bad thing about Cushlon is that it does bottom out pretty quickly, but I guess not as fast as Lunarlon, and of course I'd obviously take Cushlon over Phylon any day. Yeah, so that is the cushion there. Inside the midsole is the actual Fit Adapt technology, which is kind of like the gears and battery of how the shoe just automatically tightens on your foot, which we'll get into. In the heel you have a heel clip, or just an external TPU heel counter, which looks exactly like the Kobe AD Exodus. And speaking on the design of the shoe, I'm sure there was a design team that, you know, designed the shoe, but I think the main designer of the shoe is Eric Avar. And Eric, he's the actual designer of, you know, he designed most of the Kobe's. I believe. So that's probably why this shoe looks a lot like a Kobe shoe, which I'm not mad at. Shout out to Eric. Moving on to the materials. So it's weird. It says the actual internal material is called the internal quad axial material. Like, really? Just, that's a crazy name. It sounds really, you know, high tech and stuff, but it's probably just like a textile material. And so you guys can see it from here. Shout out to Sneaker News for these pictures. So in this picture you can see both of the shoes. So the shoe on the left obviously has the shroud, and the shroud material is Flyknit. But the white material on the right, or I guess the shoe on the right, that obviously doesn't have the shroud on it, and that's the internal axial whatever material that is. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty thick. It is obviously dual layered with that Flyknit and the internal material, because, you know, the Flyknit is a shroud. So it's probably going to be thick and a little warm, but if it's Flyknit or any type of knit material, I'm not mad at it. It's probably going to be super comfortable, supportive, you know, and very soft. Moving on to like the design of the midsole, it does look like, you know, you have your heel counter, but it also does look like the Cushlon does come up in the heel area and also in the forefoot area. So you have more of like a lateral counter for lateral movements. So that's also a very great design. Alright, so moving on to how this Fit Adapt system works. First of all, it does come with a wireless charger. So the Hyper Adapt, I guess it was a wireless charger, but you kind of still had to like place it onto the charger, you know. But in this case, in the Adapt basketball shoe, you know, it's actually like a mat. It looks to be like a synthetic material, kind of reminds me of like a suede material. But so you just place your shoe on top of the mat and it starts to charge automatically, which is really cool. It does kind of suck that you do need to charge the shoe, and it says the charge will last around 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks charging a shoe, that's not too bad. And also there is an app that, you know, that you can use with the shoe, and it tells you the battery levels. You can change the light on the shoe. You can change your customized fit, you know. So like once you, because in the Hyper Adapt, there was a sensor in the heel, so right when you put on the shoe and you put pressure on that sensor, the shoe automatically tightened to your desired tightness. So I'm sure the Adapt basketball shoe does that as well. And of course, they can also have firmware updates. So if there is a problem with the app or the shoe, they can always update it and make it better for I guess us basketball players. So you can tighten your shoes two ways. You can either use the app, on your phone, or you can manually tighten the shoe. Supposedly there are buttons on the shoe. I'm not sure exactly where. I was trying to read up on Nike and all the news sites and stuff, but it just said you can manually tighten it as well. But I'm not really sure 100% where the actual buttons are. And also it says that if the battery does run out while you're playing basketball, you can manually just loosen the laces, and then you can take off the shoe. So that's not going to be a problem either. That would kind of suck if you tighten it all the way and then the battery died and you couldn't take off your shoe. That'd be kind of funny. But so Nike made a really cool animation of all the parts, what it looks like and stuff. It looks really cool. Yeah, and also here you can see how much the midsole does come up for lateral support. And yeah, overall aesthetics, at first I didn't really like it too much because I'm not a huge fan of just shoes that don't have laces. I like the aesthetic of laces, but it is growing on me and it does look really cool on foot, I feel like. I think it would have been a cooler aesthetic if you could see the actual laces, on the outside of the shoe. Kind of like how the Hyper Adapt was, but I'm not mad at this. Alright, so the Nike Adapt basketball was available for pre-order, but that's sold out. Too bad for me, I couldn't get it. But it releases again on February 14th at Charlotte All-Star Weekend, and then February 17th on Nike.com. I think that's sneakers. And then it says also February 19th worldwide. So we'll be able to get it in a month. But yeah, the shoe overall also does look like, I guess, the Kobe AD NXC and the AD Exodus, which is a cool aesthetic. As far as performance goes, not including the Adapt Fit system, I think it'll be a nice shoe, like Flyknit, knit material, and then you have Cushlon, and if the traction's good, then it's gonna be a nice shoe to play in. We'll have to see on how heavy the shoe is, because it does obviously have that Fit Adapt system. But they did test the durability of the shoe. It says here 40,000 button presses. It was doused with nearly 80 gallons of water. It was put in 140 degrees Fahrenheit at 85% humidity. So Nike, they make good quality shoes, and I'm sure this shoe will definitely hold up. Also really excited to see where Nike's gonna take this technology, and I definitely do feel like it is an improvement from the Hyper Adapt. Yeah, so tell us what you guys think of the Adapt basketball shoe. Do you guys think it's a gimmick? What do you guys think about having to charge your shoe every 2 weeks, which I don't think is a huge deal, but just the fact that you have to charge another thing, you already have to charge a lot of stuff, if you have earphones, your phone, stuff like that, which I think is kind of annoying. And also, how do you guys think the shoe will perform, and what do you guys think about that $350 price tag? But anyways, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.